For this look, I'm starting with an eyeshadow similar to my natural lip color to map out the smile with a small detail brush. I'm first lining the center smile line up and out from the corners of the mouth. Once I have that smile line, I'm creating the actual mouth and lip shapes with the same eyeshadow. I'm starting with the base of the top lip, and keep in mind your top teeth will be going in the little space between these two lines. Using an eyeshadow is nice because you can more easily wipe that away if you need to, but you can use an eye or a lip liner as well. When creating the center baseline for the bottom lip, you'll want to look straight on into a mirror to make sure that new bottom lip will be visible. Feel free to change the shape of the smile to suit your face shape or however you like, and you may need to adjust it a few times to get there. Now I'm creating the actual lip shape, just slowly building up along the outside of the baseline, making it the thickest in the center of the face, then thinning out towards the corners of the smile. Again, I'm still using the same eyeshadow and detail brush for this. I'm going to speed through the eyes a little bit just to focus more on the grin, but I'm starting with that same eyeshadow and brush to basically just deepen and accentuate my under eye circles, and applying that with a bigger fluffy brush to the top lids. Then I'm going in with kind of a wine red shade to darken and deepen even more. I'm using a smaller fluffy brush with this shade, focusing it mainly in the inner corners under the eyes. Then I'm stippling this up onto the temples and all the way down onto the cheeks and very lightly a little bit on the nose. I'm then doing the same with a mustardy gold shade, and then again the same with kind of a warm olive shade. I'm adding this olive shade to the outer corners of the top lid and again to the inner corners under the eyes to darken a bit more, and also very lightly down the contours of the nose. Then with a white water-activated body paint on a rounded, flat brush, I'm filling in the teeth sections between the smile and mouth lines we created before. I'm using the brush flat to fill in the bigger areas, then turning it to use the thin tip of the brush to get into the corners of the smile. You could use more of a natural bone shade to fill in the teeth as well. I just only had a white. And now I'm going to use this pale yellow eyeshadow to yellow the teeth so they're not just stark white. I'm stippling this yellow on with a thin fluffy eyeshadow brush, not worrying about blending it evenly. And feel free to make the teeth as yellow or keep them as perfectly white as you want to. I am applying the most color to the corners of the smile to create more of a shadow there, and I'm following that up with a little bit of a medium brown shade. This one ended up not really being necessary because I do go in with a super dark shadow to deepen these corners later. Then I'm using the NYX Epic Ink Liner to line the teeth. I really like this liner because you can get super fine details with it, but of course you can also use water-activated body paint or another liquid liner or brow liner even. I'm starting from the center and also lining that initial smile line that we created first. I decided to go for a lot of really thin, uneven teeth for this look, but of course you can create whatever size, shape, and kind of teeth that you want to. I'm using my pinky as a stabilizer as well, just resting it on my chin as I line. I'm also using this liner to add some light doodly lines around the eyes, just kind of following the basic shapes of where the eyeshadow was applied. Then I'm also very lightly lining along the tops of the nostrils and under the tip of the nose, and just outside the nostrils as well. A few more super light lines around the eyes, applying almost no pressure to the liner. Then with a small flat brush, we're going to start adding shading to the teeth and mouth with a cool dark brown eyeshadow. I'm starting by applying the darkest shadow along the inner edge of the lip, then gently blending out down onto the teeth. This will add dimension, making the teeth look like they're sitting inside behind the lips. I'm shading the most again at the corners of the smile, so those areas appear the deepest. Then again, using the Epic Ink Liner, I'm blacking out between the top and bottom teeth to add a little space in there, as well as adding a few more details to the teeth. For the detailing on the teeth, I'm just kind of randomly going in and adding little gaps, cracks, or slightly changing the shape of a tooth as I see fit. For me, this really added a lot to the final look, but just be careful not to go too overboard with details to keep the teeth readable, especially if you decided to do really thin teeth like I did. Once I'm happy with the details, I'm going back in with the dark brown eyeshadow to shade a little bit between the top and bottom teeth as well. Then staying with the brown eyeshadow, but now on the small detail brush, I'm lining along the outer edge of the lips, defining the shadow above the cupid's bow as well. Adding a little shadow to separate top and bottom lip at the corners of the smile, then lining along the inner edge of the lips with the Epic Ink Liner as well, just to add more definition. And then, similar to what we did around the eyes, I'm adding some of those light doodly lines to kind of look like wrinkles around the outer areas and corners of the smile. I decided I wanted to darken the edge around the lips, so I'm just going in with the dark brown eyeshadow on the small flat brush to do that. I wanted to keep this soft but dark, but you could also line around the lips with the Epic Ink Liner if you want it more defined. Adding just a little more shading to mainly the bottom teeth. Then going in with a really small amount of the white body paint on the tip of the rounded flat brush to add just a few highlights to the lips, gently blending that out a little bit to soften. Again, this will help bring the lips forward, adding more dimension. Then just quickly applying some bronzer around the face and neck. Then I decided to shade a little bit along those doodly wrinkle lines around the smile, again using the dark brown eyeshadow and small flat brush. Keeping the brows simple, just applying some brow gel. I'm then adding a couple more curvy shadow lines to the lower cheeks just outside the smile to add some quick shaping to the face, and then we are done. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.